In high school, I developed a mirror face, an expression my face would automatically fold into each time I encountered my reflection. I draw my mouth into a thin line in a subconscious attempt to hide the voluptuousness of my fullness. My friends would tease me, placing real and more often pretend mirrors in front of my face to see it contort. And each time, that girl in the mirror would comply, presenting herself with my features modified. I've since realized that many of us go through life with our mirror face on, presenting a version of ourselves we want others to see until eventually our reflection becomes nothing more than a posed existence. It's exhausting. See, even though it's subconsciously done, our subconscious runs 99.9% of our entire mind. So soon, that negativity that comes from masking our true selves brings forth more and more negativity and self-doubt. It's no wonder why they say we are our biggest critic, when each encounter with the mirror brings forth more self-ridicule. Why do we let ourselves tear ourselves down? It's high time we turn the conversation with our inner selves around. See, we are only as strong as our weakest thoughts. So we must strengthen our minds to welcome only positive vibes. Consider this. Next time we look ourselves in the eyes, give a self-compliment. Speak life into our lives. The other day, I tried this. I looked myself deep in the eyes, sans mirror face, with an attitude of gratitude, praising my features rather than noting my flaws. And my inner self responded, "Thank you for acknowledging my existence." You're welcome. I said, you're welcome. It's you you're intended to be. And if not you, then who would you see when you looked in the mirror? It may be foggy now, but your voice will make it clearer. You're welcome. I said, you're welcome. You're welcome. I said, you're welcome. I'm doc.PEACE. Like Rachel said, I'm a pharmacist by trade and a spoken word artist at heart. I am the second of 3 daughters born to Nigerian immigrants who moved here to America seeking vast opportunities. From a young age, my mother instilled in me that education is key to success. So through a series of events, I became a pharmacist to provide medication education, thereby helping others help themselves. I'm so excited to be with you here tonight to spread positivity and light. How many of you have done what's called the big chop? Meaning you went from long or medium hair to short or no hair. Okay. I recently made that transition. But here's the thing. Straight hair never gave me no satisfaction. But it sure drew them approving stares from the minds that were watching, comparing their hair to the hair that I was wearing. Silk scars, they can never smooth out these curls. For within each curl lies centuries of power, a value that can't be named, a strength that can't be tamed, a resilience that withstands the elements, earth, wind, and fire. This black hair right here, nothing can compare. Unfortunately, my hair has always been a tear. I remember back when I was 7, a tender-headed kid with hair so thick, I cried each time my mom pulled a comb through it. It's as if I knew even then these curls were a part of me. See, you can't just brush away your individuality. One day, a cop knocked on our door. He was responding to a neighbor's call about a child's scream, which happened to be coming from me, crumpled at my mom's feet on the bathroom floor. Cop asked, "What's wrong?" And I said through my tears, "My mom, she's brushing my hair." He replied, "She just wants you to look pretty." And I nodded in agreement. But to my bereavement, soon after he left, Ned took the scissors to my hair and cut it all off, declaring, "No hair, no tears." Year after year, my hair grew and grew, but I was always trying to hide it. Fake hair was what I was styling, and underneath all the weaves and the braids, my hair became once again strong and thick. So I put a relaxer in it to make it silky and soft. And that's when it all broke off. It was a blessing in disguise, because that's when I realized, if there's nothing to hide, why do we use our hair to hide behind? They say no pain, no gain, and that beauty is pain, but what's the gain in having beauty if we hide it away? I wish you'd see what I see. My soul screams. It'd be like peace. Why you got a 10-star potential but only got 6 stars? See, it's a process to express who we truly are when we've lived all our years in self-constructed barriers, trying to comply with societal norms, forgetting that normalcy is all relative. Well, as for me, I couldn't pretend to be someone I wasn't any longer, because eventually the real me started to see. So I'm choosing to unveil on my own terms. It's the hardest lesson that I have ever learned. Side note aside, now let's define the theory of relativity. I've never really been good at physics, but this theory is elementary. See, there's this notion that 2 events simultaneous for one observer may not necessarily be simultaneous for another, given the relative degree of motion. This is called the relativity of simultaneity. In other words, our viewpoint changes our perception. See, we live in a world of misdeception, where we mask our flaws as ego protection. Maybe human self-preservation or cosmic phenomenal expression. Like I said, physics isn't really my thing. But bear with me a while and I'll just simply say, my theory of naturality states, given that we each view the world differently, we are each our own version of normality. Basically, we are all uniquely normal indeed. More clearly expressed, we are each a testament of natural beauty at its best. My theory of naturality may stem from my hair journey, but it's more about how we express our true selves in our entirety. We are each so unique. So let's share our uniqueness. I'd now like to end on a final confession. When I was a kid, around 8 or 9, I realized my classmates' lunches were better than mine. They'd have fruit roll-ups and cheese sticks, pudding cups, and cookie dips, while my lunch would literally be peanuts and bananas. I wanted what the other kids snacked, and for once, for them to wear the look of envy that I always had. So during first recess, I snuck back in the classroom and grabbed all the goodies from each of their lunch sacks. See, one tasty treat wasn't enough. I had to have them all in my pack. When the lunch bell rang, I pulled out all the sweets from my lunch bag. I shared them gingerly with a big grin. Felt oh so special I did. See, in that moment, I was queen of all the tasty treats. Till I was caught for the act, and my sweet reign lapsed. My lunch bandit days are now part of the past, but I've begun to notice that some of us still live like a lunch-looting kid in a mentality of scarcity, shutting down others' progress with our words and our thoughts, breaking bridges of respect, replacing supportive words with cold shoulders and enviousness, letting the mindset of competition trickle down to our hearts, shadowing our entire being with uncertainty, casting self-doubt in our soul, blurring our vision and making us question, since when was our life's mission ever to tear others down? It doesn't have to be like this. Imagine a world where we lifted each other up higher, and likewise was lifted up higher and higher with love. Imagine what we could accomplish if we shared our snacks of insight and didn't hoard encouragement. Imagine if we truly believed in our hearts and deep within our souls that there is enough. Enough for you, enough for me, and we broke free from the mentality of scarcity. Lived life free from fear of running out of treats. Take this lesson from the confessions of a third grade lunch bandit. There is enough for us all. There is enough for you. There is enough for me. Break free. Live free from the mentality of scarcity. There is enough. These are my confessions. These are my confessions. I'm breaking free from the mentality of scarcity. There is enough for you, and there's enough for me. These are my confessions. These are my confessions. Repeat after me. I'm breaking free.
I'm breaking free
From the mentality of scarcity.
from the mentality of scarcity.
There's enough for you,
There's enough for you,
and there's enough for me.
and there's enough for me.
These are my confessions.
These are my confessions.
These are my confessions.
These are my
Let's
confessions.
do it again. I'm breaking free
I'm breaking free
from the mentality of scarcity.
from the mentality of scarcity.
There's enough for you,
There's enough for you.
and there's enough for me.
There's enough for me.
These are my confessions.
These are my confessions.
These are my confessions.
These are my confessions.
Thank you. I'm Doc.PEACE. Thanks for breaking through with me.